This podcast is part of the Big Heads Media Podcast Network. Go to bigheadsmedia.com for more great podcasts.
Hi there, folks, and welcome to TV Tuners. It's a television podcast for the true fanatics. It's a weekly dive into the latest in TV news and reviews. I'm your host, Swanson, and with me, as always, is my co-host and friend who owns a bar, Stairmaster.
Hey, Norm!
Yeah, that's sure is you. You're just a guy with a bar.
Who says Norm when he walks in?
Yeah, that's weird. Anybody, none of these people, I don't think, are named Norm, and yet when they walk in, you just call them that. Very strange. And with us, as always, is our other co-host and owner of a casino, Keo Rain.
Hey, let's start gambling, guys. Come on.
The house always wins.
Yeah, I guess it does. Does the house always win, Keo Rain?
Well, no. I mean, you should just gamble, not ask any questions.
Oh, all right. I mean, that's suspicious, but I'll do it.
Yeah, well, how much money do you have on you right now? $2,000?
$2.
Yeah, you can go home.
Oh, all right. A little rude, but okay.
Swanson, you think this is like a chump change operation here?
You think this is like a Stumptown operation here?
I think this is like a stump.
Well, that's disrespectful, and now I'm going to have these men in ski masks take you out back and...
One of whom is Stump from Angry Beavers.
Oh, no. He really doesn't hide his identity well.
Yeah, you're in big trouble now, Swanson.
Well, before I get beat up, I'd like to welcome everybody to the podcast. You can follow us on Twitter at TV Tuners, and you can use the hashtag TV Tuners, and we'll give a glance at what you're saying.
You better look at TV Tuners' Twitter account.
Yeah, we got content there. Also,
we got this man who we hired who does the tweets for us.
Yeah, he said his name's Antonio.
Oh, yeah, that would make sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah, he's from Sicily.
That's what he tells us. I don't know. We haven't seen any actual proof other than his accent, really.
Yeah, and he says that he's going to keep the podcast real safe for us, and it will be a shame if anything happened to it.
Yes. And if you also want to keep the podcast safe, you can follow us on any of the podcatchers of your choice. We're available on Google Play, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, any of those. And if you like the podcast, why not give us a review and leave 5 stars? Very appreciated. And as always, if you have any comments, questions, quips, foresights otherwise, send them to us at tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com, and we'll read them here on the podcast.
What?
Yeah, we'll do that. What was that email, Keo?
It was television tuner at g.net.
That's right. All right. What you guys watch this week? Anything interesting?
I watched the television/movie experience El Camino.
I also watched the television/movie experience brought to you by Netflix, El Camino.
I didn't even know it was out until prior to this recording just now.
Yeah, we are recording on the day that it dropped, so Keo and I watched it pretty much when it debuted.
At midnight.
Well, Keo did. I watched it in the morning after I had slept, because I am 3 hours apart from Keo Red.
Swanson is a sleepy little man. He wasn't ready for the movie experience, so he had to sleep first.
Yeah, I had to pregame by sleeping.
I called Swanson on FaceTime to have him get the movie. I was like, Swanson, we're gonna watch this movie. But Swanson was in bed wearing not only pajamas but also a sleeping cap.
Yeah. Well, I have to keep my hair in pristine condition at all times.
Well, that just told me you were serious about sleeping, so I just let you sleep.
I mean, it was a wise thing to do because I watched this with a clear head and a sane conscience.
Yeah, and it was a good time.
Yeah, it was exactly what you would expect. You know, it wasn't like a revelatory experience, but it was fun.
Yeah, it told us what was going down in the neighborhood.
And since Stare hasn't seen it, we won't say anything else.
Sorry, everyone.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming most people haven't. I guess by the time this drops, most people will have seen
Maybe
it.
I'll
Probably
cover-
Stairmaster.
You want me to cover my ears and start humming while you talk about the podcast? Or
Well, that won't
the
be good
movie?
audio, so no.
Okay.
Well, listen, I just need to talk about the scene where Gus is alive.
Oh yeah, that was really weird because he has like a robo claw arm, and I don't remember his arm being the thing that was like missing.
Yeah, his face was completely fine, like perfect condition, but
Yeah.
his arm was robo for some reason, and I didn't get that. But also, I don't understand why he wasn't a presence in the film after that point.
He shows up and says, "Hello, Jesse," and then he never comes back again. It was very strange.
Yeah, was it like a hallucination?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe because there's also that hallucination. At least that's what I thought of Todd, sort of just smiling from the sky.
Yeah, I would think he would be more menacing than happy, but I guess that's kind of his whole thing, where he seems like a nice guy, but he's actually not so nice.
Yeah, just sort of a okay person, you know. And then
Yeah, like,
he
you know,
murders someone.
Like a solid, I don't know, like what would you give him out of 10 as a guy?
If I didn't know what he does,
No, if he, like all around knowing everything he does, what would you rate him?
oh, like a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going for, a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, you know, he does some bad stuff, but you know, he's a good egg.
Yeah, he's friendly. He says, nothing personal before he shoots.
Yeah, he minds his P's and his Q's.
Wait, what?
And if those P's or Q's get out of line, he'll kill them, regardless
Yeah.
of age.
That's just pragmatic.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, El Camino's good. Check it out. We'll probably talk about it next week when Stairmaster's seen it.
Or
Yeah,
maybe
well, you
not.
didn't watch El Camino, Stair, but what did you watch?
Well, I saw Wolker starring Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh,
So you decided to
Woker.
watch that instead of El Camino? What made you decide that was more important than El
I
Camino?
saw it on Tuesday or Monday.
Couldn't get an advanced screening to El Camino, I see.
No,
Yeah, why didn't you try
I was
harder to
offered
watch
an
El
advanced
Camino?
screening to Joker, though.
Yeah, Woker?
Yes, Wolker.
Is that the movie? That's the movie where Joaquin Phoenix is like super woke and he's wearing
Yes.
face paint.
And he's canceling people.
Yeah, he's like, we live in a patriarchal society.
Yeah.
Anyway, how was it?
Well, when I went to the theater, there was a cop car parked out.
And the cop was wearing face paint. Very strange.
He was also wearing a clown mask on top of the face paint, so no one would know he was wearing face paint.
Oh,
How'd
yes.
you see the face paint?
The movie's okay. I mean, Joaquin does an amazing performance. Cinematography's nice, but the plot's a little shallow.
Yeah, that sounds
Batman
It's
like
mostly
in
just
this movie?
Joaquin Phoenix dancing around in slow motion and smoking a lot of cigars shirtless.
Is Batman in this movie, though?
Bruce Wayne's in this movie.
Ooh.
There's a scene where Joker sticks his fingers in Bruce Wayne's mouth to make him smile because he's possibly autistic or something.
That's gross. Also, Batman as an autistic person seems like a new take.
It seems like the logical take.
I guess?
Yeah.
He has got a very, very narrow interest in bats and crime.
True. Yeah.
Anyways, there were no incel shooters or anything there. But one guy did shout, "I'm the Joker, baby," and then detonated his suicide vest, killing me instantly.
Oh, that sounds rough.
Yeah, well, that's not a shooter, so I'm glad there wasn't any violence.
Yeah, I'm glad there was no
involved with this
violence
movie.
here.
Yeah.
Unlike all those news headlines that said there was maybe going to be.
Joker will bring about a second Holocaust.
I can't wait for the sequel, Joker versus Juggalo.
Oh, I don't think the Joker would fight the Juggler. I mean, this Joker already has him basically adopting an army of Juggalos at the end.
Wait, what?
To destroy Capitol.
Are they going whoop whoop?
Maybe. It's hard to tell. There's a lot of fire going on at the end.
So what you're telling me is that in this movie, the Joker enthusiastically drinks Faygo.
Does he do a Hatchet Man sign?
No, not yet. That's for the sequel.
Oh, yeah. That's probably true. Anyway, the only thing I know about this movie, other than the media coverage, which we don't need to talk about, is that someone put the parts where Joaquin Phoenix is dancing in the trailer and took the score out and added the song Laffy Taffy. And it fits perfectly, so thank you for that.
That's twisted.
Yeah, it is sick. It's sick and twisted. Just like the Joker.
What?
I'm in love with chaos.
Yeah,
I thought the Joker was like a clean cut, like businessman alternative to Bruce Wayne.
After I saw that movie, I just wanted to commit all the crimes. Like smoking.
Oh, so it actually did do a good job of inciting incels. Oh no! What's that red face paint he's smearing across his lips?
Don't forget to smile.
Huh? Yeah, I think the movie broke our boy.
No, boy, it fixed me. Also, it made smoking look really cool. So that might be the most dangerous part of that movie.
Oh, so it is sort of like a Martin Scorsese movie, then.
Yes.
I mean, smoking does just inherently look cool.
Yeah, haven't you watched Cowboy Bebop?
Even if you're like a shirtless guy and your ribs are like pointing outwards, like vertically up, like it's some sort of taunt towards God.
I heard Joaquin Phoenix had a rib taken out on this one so he could suck his own dick. Is that true?
Yeah. Well, yeah, but that was for the dick sucking scene.
How long involved is that part?
About 30 seconds.
Oh, wow. Very quick to have an entire procedure done.
Oh, no. I meant the dick sucking. I don't know how long the surgery took.
Well, yeah, but it's a very quick scene to get an entire procedure done. He's very method.
Well, for every, 30 seconds of footage, that's like an hour of filming.
True, yeah.
So what they needed to do was have a disclaimer at the end of the movie saying that the Joker died 80 years later of lung cancer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so he dies in, the year 2060?
Yeah. Having lived a long, full life.
Oh, yeah, did I mention this is a period piece?
Yeah, isn't it in, the 80s or something?
Yes, and they got the old-timey Warner Brothers logo at the start of the movie. That's fun.
Oh.
So that's why Batman isn't Batman.
No, he's just boy.
He's Batboy.
No, he's just boy.
Oh. Are there any bats in this movie at all?
No. There are super rats, though.
Ooh. Okay, how many jokes are in this movie, though?
Do you mean, told by the Joker or told by the movie?
Both? I guess just
told told by a person in the movie.
Well, Joker doesn't give any jokes off because he keeps laughing from anxiety.
Oh, relatable.
Well, he's not laughing because he's having a fun time. He's
no,
laughing
he laughs whenever he's feeling strong emotion because of past abuse.
Does he laugh if he gets horny then?
Possibly. We don't really know because we don't see him have sex.
Oh.
Since he's an incel.
Yeah, I guess
he is. He's asexual.
Ooh, maybe. I don't know if the asexuals really want Joker to be part of their...
I mean, Joker, in most aren't, famously is a heterosexual man.
I mean, yeah, he does have a girlfriend.
Is he just, not that interested in her? Because, I'm pretty sure in all the depictions I've seen, she's, all over him. He's like, yeah, sure, we'll have sex, I guess.
He's just playing it cool, man.
It varies. The Jared Leto Joker is far hornier.
Well, yeah, have you seen that Joker? That's a horny Joker. He might as well have it tattooed on his forehead. Horny.
No, I think that's what he has written on his hands.
Horny? Ha-ha. He has ha-ha and horny.
Ha-ha horny.
Joker,
all right.
You can't be hard when we're fighting. It's really awkward.
Try and get me with my boner, Batman. Yeah, Batman doesn't know what to do because Joker's has a massive hog.
I just picture Batman like trying to grapple with
Sanders.
Batman trying to grapple with him, and then like after 5 seconds, he notices that he's just too.
Shorts.
The Joker's wearing shorts.
Yeah,
just like some bicycle shorts.
They're at the beach. He's committing beach crimes. He's gonna steal.
Yeah, Batman just leaves.
You can't steal all of Gotham sand.
Can't handle this. Need to go.
I'm making the ultimate sand castle.
Oracle. I need you to Moziak out the stick.
Yeah, Joker is sponsored by Blue Chew. Anyway, let's get to the news, huh?
Uh-oh.
Oh. Okay, so
someone went down in television town.
Syria today as Turkish forces continue their
That's not... No, I mean TV news.
Oh, okay.
Who gives a shit about that stuff?
Yeah.
Stare, you should be an NPR guy.
Speaking of war, let's talk about Sesame Street in the streaming wars.
Oh no. Why are they involved?
Well, as you guys may know, the streaming wars are rapidly approaching. Disney Plus launches in less than a month.
But Mandalorian!
Yeah, it'll probably be fun. And HBO Max follows soon afterwards. Speaking of HBO Max, they've recently landed a deal to get Sesame Street.
What? But
great, I can't wait for them to air all those episodes of Sesame Street for free.
But isn't that a public television? Isn't that like a national treasure?
It's a national treasure that's now owned by a corporation.
And they're going to be streaming it for free.
They sure won't. It'll be part of HBO Max's baffling price point. HBO Max released the price point, which is... Well, sorry, they haven't actually officially said. The speculative price point currently is $15 per month.
Oh.
Which is a lot.
That's premium content, including Sesame Street, for free. 15 months.
You get
$50 a month.
And Mandalorian, featuring the Cookie Monster.
No, on HBO,
no
free.
No Mandalorian here. No.
Oh, sorry, I got mixed up again.
Yeah, no, it turns out Sesame Street has already been part of HBO for a while, since 2015, with older episodes showing up on PBS after 3 months. And
it seems fine.
It seems as if that's going to be the trend going forward. HBO Max will have all of Sesame Street, all 50 seasons.
Oh, God.
And then the newer episodes will be released to go on PBS after a couple months.
Let's do a Sesame Street recap podcast.
Ooh, no thanks. Here's the thing with Sesame Street, guys. I don't know if you know this, but the alphabet and the numbers 1 through 20 only give you so many episodes before you start.
Worth.
Yeah. Do you think The Simpsons are trying to beat Sesame Street's record?
For being going on too long?
Yes.
Greetings, my friend. Welcome to the Sesame Cast. In this episode, we have a character study on Big Bird. Episode 3792. We see a new facet to Big Bird's personality.
What do we call it? Like the podcast monster podcast?
No. Why would we do that?
Because the Cookie Monster.
Oh, yes. And that's the first thing you think of when you hear whatever that is.
The podcast monster.
You think, oh, yes, this is a podcast about Sesame Street.
I don't know. Count Podula?
Ooh, that sounds like a cereal podcast.
That'd be fun. We could eat cereal.
Ooh, yeah.
It could be like an ASMR podcast.
Yeah, make loud crunching noises.
I'm sorry, Theo couldn't make it in for this week's episode of Count Podula. He acquired gingivitis.
Yeah, make sure
so I'll be eating 2 bowls of cereal in his place.
You hear milk pouring. Oh, that would be a really good sound right now.
But yeah, so it seems as if HBO Max is continuing to buy up things that you used to enjoy, like Sesame Street or Friends or HBO.
I never enjoyed Sesame Street or Friends.
Oh, this explains a lot about you.
Yeah, I was a Thomas the Tank Engine fanatic, and that's why I'm so socially stunted.
Yeah, no one ever.
Yeah, that show did not teach good social skills.
Yeah,
it taught me to recognize faces, though.
Yeah, like when someone's upset, like they go, their mouth goes wide open and their eyes like spin around.
Yeah, and a little synthesizer goes crazy. They play that one note long.
it also gave him a deep appreciation for George Carlin.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's move from the world of Sesame Street to the world of The Walking Dead.
Oh, no!
AMC's The Walking Dead has returned recently for a 10th season and was promptly renewed for an 11th season.
Do you think they're trying to beat Sesame Street's record?
Probably. I'm assuming The Walking Dead's going to keep going on until we're all dead.
How many decades until they do a Walking Dead skit on Sesame Street?
I feel like they already have. They do like Avengers skits and stuff.
They gotta get Norman Reedus in there.
I think Walking Dead's a bit too dark for that.
Yeah, but
well, you can have Cookie Monster do like the walking cookie or something.
Oh no, that's horrifying.
Where the cookies are trying to eat him.
All the cookies he ate are back for revenge.
Yeah, they're just trying to get him. Anyway,
that'll scare the children and upset them.
Well, they're supposed to be scared of cookies, so they eat vegetables instead.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, so The Walking Dead has been, a juggernaut, so to speak. And they recently had a panel at the New York City Comic-Con where creator of the show and showrunner, not creator, Scott Gimple, the Gimp as they call him, was asked about the upcoming Rick Grimes spin-off adventures.
In response, he said,
Yeah, and then
he's a hostage?
No, he's a gimp. He's in a gimp suit. They just didn't unzip his mouth.
Yeah, we know you saw Pulp Fiction. You should.
And then Bruce Willis had to come in and
cut him down with a katana.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of katanas, and when asked about the movies, Gimple's quote was, "Ninjas. You really got me on this one. We are working on it right now and hope to have some moves for you in the next month or two."
Well, I actually once said ninjas don't use a katana.
Okay.
Yeah, they do stare.
No, they don't. The katana is too long.
My uncle's a ninja. And
he's very into the wakizashi.
Whoa, wait. Kyoren, your uncle is Beverly Hills Ninja?
Yeah, he has a katana.
Oh, no.
Dang. He's not accurate.
That must be unwieldy. No wonder he's so bad at his job.
How dare you?
So yeah, the idea of ninjas in the zombie apocalypse sounds pretty cool. You know what? Rick Grimes fighting ninjas? That sounds pretty fun, actually. Just the idea of this guy being like, "What is this? Ninjas?"
Where is he now? Anyways, isn't he like,
I don't know. I
thought he went on like a helicopter to England or something.
No,
it's too bad there's no way they could actually do that properly.
You're right, and it seems as if after hearing everyone say "fuck yeah, ninjas," the Gimp realized that he had to sort of step back from those words. At some point after that had been unleashed, Gimp walked it back and said the answer had been terrible. And all that he meant was that the movies would be going to places outside of these characters' imaginations and what they know about the world, which could mean literally anything.
They're just going to space.
Oh, like Rick wakes up on a spaceship?
Yeah, he wakes up on the moon base. Like that movie, Moon.
He thinks he's finally safe, but guess what? Guess what's on? This was there.
Like Back to Night Zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
or just zombies.
Yeah, probably just zombies.
Shane wakes up in the desert and he sees the sun from Mario 3. That's a zombie.
But yeah, it looks like we won't be getting to see Rick sort of be trained in the way of ninjutsu. So.
But Death Stranding's coming out, and who knows what could happen with that.
You think there's ninjas in that?
Maybe. anything could happen.
That game is looking interesting.
Mysterious.
I like to call it the Norman Reedus baby fetus game. So
I like to call it the Norman Reedus piss simulator.
I just kind of remembered something. Adding ninjas to something is actually probably pretty boring.
I mean, it didn't work for Daredevil.
That's what I was going to say. That was the first thought, was that when they added ninjas to Daredevil, it just kind of got boring.
Yeah, but The Walking Dead is already boring, so...
Well,
would it make it more boring, or would it actually make it interesting?
I mean, let's look at Miami Connection. That when the ninjas showed up in that was very good.
True. Yeah,
So
I think it's based off of how good something is, whether or not adding ninjas to it.
No, I think the thing is that the ninja time took away from the Punisher time, so that made it bad.
True, and when
That
the Punisher
lowest
showed up
quality.
to fight ninjas, all he had to do was just shoot them.
He just shot one, and we were like, yes! But then went back to Daredevil doing his stupid shit.
Yeah.
Stupid soap opera
How do ninjas, like, coalesce with zombies, though? They're, like, complete opposites?
I think they like summoned a demon, and that's why they're zombies.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe
Zombie
they're working
demon.
for the One World Order.
Do they ever explain why they're zombies?
No, they don't
virus.
explain that on the show. They just know that, like, they get infected. And everyone alive is already infected. So, yeah, it's pretty much a virus, but they don't actually say that.
That's really something they might have wanted to explore,
I mean, there
but
was
just...
a two-parter where they go to a literal CDC facility and, talk to a CDC guy.
Yeah, that was early in the show.
Yeah, literally the first season.
And then they never explore it after that, I don't think. So they're too busy fighting guys with bats.
A katana would come in handy there.
Oh,
Never.
yeah, you're right. Also, we're talking about this, and someone already has a katana.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So I guess they would just have shurikens.
Well, I mean, wouldn't you want someone to sword fighter?
Yeah, I mean, that would be cool. It's clearly the one enemy she could face is someone with two katanas.
Yeah, I can't wait for there to be, like, a really poorly choreographed sword fight between them.
Cuts every half second.
Yeah.
And it ends after 30 seconds unsatisfyingly.
Okay, what if she fought someone with, like, a halberd?
That's not a ninja one.
Now we're talking. Why don't they have, like medieval knights in Walking Dead?
Yeah, that seems
Well,
like
that'd be too easy.
Yeah, zombies can't bite through that.
Why don't they just wear suits of armor?
Why don't they?
They're dumb boys and girls.
Yeah,
All right.
they should wear, like, protective wrestling equipment.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah, just
Head
ideal.
armor.
Wrestle the zombies.
Oh, well, we already have zombie wrestlers. His name was The Undertaker.
They should put
why
Undertaker
don't they-
on The Walking Dead. That'd be a fun
Yeah.
cameo.
Oh, yeah.
Well, not a fun cameo, a fun new addition to the roster.
Yeah, just keep him as a main cast member.
I mean, it's not like they could really replace Rick with anyone else.
And and a thing about The Undertaker is that we already know he loves bikes.
Oh, he'd be a bad guy.
Oh, is that what The Walking Dead's about now? Bicycling?
It's about motorbikes because Daryl's the only, like, one of the 3 remaining cast members from the original.
But just imagine, though, Undertaker joins Walking Dead as the bad guy who teams up with the zombies.
Oh man, what if
Oh.
it turns out that the ninjas are like an order of assassins and Cregan was one of their disciples, but he broke free?
He doesn't seem like a
Too
ninja.
twisted. Well,
He's
he
too
broke free
twisted.
very early. He escaped at age 4.
That'd be a good backstory. Better than the comics backstory where Negan was just like a bad gym teacher.
If he was a gym teacher, then how come he doesn't have like a little whistle he blows?
He doesn't want people to remember he was a gym teacher.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a very shameful past.
But he's beating people with bats. It seems
That's a good point.
All right.
Do you think he was a bad gym teacher because that's what he was doing to kids?
Well,
Would you say that's-
he's sort of like Freddy Krueger?
Yeah.
I think bad is like an understatement for that kind of behavior.
Oh, Negan and Freddy Krueger would totally be best friends, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe one day they'll bitch.
Fight. Maybe one day they'll meet, like in Tekken.
Oh, yeah. A new fighter enters. It's me, bitch!
And then Akuma just uses the Satie no Hado on him.
Yeah.
But he's already in hell, so it doesn't work. Okay, what else you got for us, Swanson?
Alright, well, as you know, mental illness is a scourge on current day society. And
I think we're all healthy here.
And there's nothing we can do to stop it. And it'll continue for... And it'll continue for the rest of forever. The end.
Okay.
No, as you know, mental illness is a thing that we don't like to talk about often in our society. We usually tend to blame other things.
Like the clowns.
Like clowns, video games, or video games with clowns.
Or television.
Oh. And HBO has decided to add a new initiative to help destigmatize mental illness by adding disclaimers before specific shows, identifying illnesses that appear in the episodes.
Should I mention that there was a mental health PSA before Joker?
Well, I guess that's better. Okay, well, does the actual show, or as the actual movie, tackle mental health in a way that's like not just the Joker's twisted?
I mean, it's kind of, it's basically society's fault. Ronald Reagan literally ruins his life by cutting social services so he can't get medication for his
Oh man, does Ronald
depression.
Reagan show up like the Frank Miller comic?
No, Thomas Wayne is like the Ronald Reagan stand-in.
Oh, he would be, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, the idea is to show that mental health, to raise mental health awareness. 20% of Americans apparently report some sort of mental health condition, but only 2% of film characters and 7% of TV characters are depicted with it. So HBO is partnering with the National Alliance on Mental Health to air these warnings. Like they'll usually list something like this person has OCD or depression,
This person is down with the clown.
This person is known to whoop whoop.
This person has OCD and that is unacceptable. You are
We do not condone.
We do not condone the actions of this mentally ill person.
If you are mentally ill, please lock yourself away from society.
Do not try this at home.
It remains to be seen what HBO shows are going to be getting this treatment. I would love to see The Sopranos get that.
Or any episode of Game of Thrones with
just
Ramsay
any episode
on it.
of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. But The Wire, I don't know.
Depression.
Major
Narcissism.
depression warning on The Wire. Especially season 5. Anyway, yeah, mental health. It's a thing.
Get help if you can afford it.
And if you can't, just live with it, I guess.
Do what the Joker
Buy
did.
myself-
Get a gun.
buy
It's
my-
probably cheaper.
Buy my self-help book.
Yeah, if you want
Keo's
The feel-good
path
Odyssey.
to great. Yeah, Keo's path to the feel great Odyssey.
All right, well, that's it for the news, so it's time for us to take a quick smoke break. While we do that, why don't you guys listen to an ad for a podcast on the network? As always, we're part of...
Pass that cigar, Swanson.
Well, hold on. Jeez.
Don't touch the segment. It's first time.
As you all may know, we're part of the Big Heads Media Podcast Network, and so is this podcast. What the Hops? It's a beer podcast, a music podcast, a pop culture podcast. Give it a listen.
And welcome everybody to what?
Wait, Brian, what are you doing?
Oh yeah, that's right. We're supposed to be recording a promo here, aren't we?
Aren't you supposed to tell people where they can find us?
Yeah, we're What the Hops podcast based out of Buffalo, New York. We like to talk a lot about beer.
A little bit about music.
And all sorts of random things.
So be sure to go find us wherever you get your podcasts and hit up all your social medias and search What the Hops and hit that like button.
Cheers.
All right. Wow, that was
Where are
good
the slam
time.
dunks? I want slam dunks in this podcast.
No, hops, like the thing in beer, Snapmaster.
Oh.
Not like the thing you do to throw a basketball.
Like,
That sounds like right.
Like you
that is
jump,
what the hops are referred to.
you jump and you throw the basketball, and it gets a little more height to it, so
Yes.
it gets in the hoop better.
Hmm.
And then you get an extra point for style.
We talked about The Walking Dead earlier, which brings us to a segment near and dear to everyone's heart. It's Trailer Blazers! Hit the theme, Kiorain!
You can't just keep doing that. Come on, stop it.
All right. Welcome to Trailer Blazers, where we talk about the latest and greatest in trailers. You'd be okay with assuming that 5 years ago was about the apex of the zombie genre being a huge thing.
And the
But,
Walking
5
Dead
years ago.
franchise, more specifically.
Yeah. Well, just any...
More like 100 years ago.
You mean 1919?
I think they had their own
Yes.
problems back then.
Yeah. But yes, the zombies are still a thing, apparently, if these two trailers that we watched are any indication. Both feature teens, and both feature teens with zombies involved.
What the fuck?
This first one is a untitled Walking Dead show that for some reason already has a trailer.
But not a name. That part was too difficult.
Yeah, they're really trying to work on some sort of name here for this one.
The Walking Teens.
Yeah, well, they got that spinoff Fear the Walking Dead, so I figured this one's going to be like, I don't know, like teen.
Enjoy The Walking Dead.
Partake in The Walking Dead.
Remember The Walking Dead.
Probably
God,
remember.
that's probably going to be
That's probably it.
Fuck.
You would think they would just come up with that. That one, you owe Stairmaster money.
You owe me
AMC.
$6 million.
Anyway, this trailer is something, huh?
Oh, fuck.
So,
Yeah, this trailer is kind of why I was asking, did they explore why the zombies happened? Because they have what they call a collection of people known as a society now.
yeah, they
live
live
in
in
a
a society. Jinx.
You owe me a joke.
Oh.
Er.
Oh, uh-oh. That was I guess that was a joke, yeah. Anyway, yes. For some reason it's been 10 years as we're told in this trailer it's been 10 years as we're told in this trailer as we learn through like text that looks like the Got Milk ads. Like they look like teen PSAs.
So, I bet you were all thinking it right, but this is like worse than Avengers Endgame depicting the post-snap world. Like, it just looks like a regular high school at the beginning of this trailer.
I mean, yeah,
Yes.
at least, yeah.
This
This just
Endgame
looks
had like a CGI shot of like some boats outside New York.
Yeah.
Here we've got nothing.
It looks super normal.
Yeah, this is a place that like occasionally there's a zombie in it, and that's it.
Yeah, you
And
think
I guess-
it'd be like a dictatorship because all the old people would have PTSD from the apocalypse or something.
But it's been 10 years, Stairmaster.
But no, we get to see like a very normal karate class.
Yeah,
Yeah, you would expect this to be like maybe, I don't know, 200 years.
You'd expect it to look like more like the 1700s.
yeah. I don't know.
90s.
200 years from now, you think 200 years from the zombie apocalypse? Do you think the zombies would still be around?
No, they would be gone after like 20 years, probably.
I think like the majority of them would be dead. Yeah, like seeing a zombie would be a rare occurrence.
Like, the only ones left would probably be the ones in like the Arctic Circle. Except global warming's a thing now, so maybe not.
Wait, why are the zombies dying?
Because you're killing them.
Because they're just so old. They're just rotting away slowly.
Zombies don't
And-
age.
No, but they still can break down over time.
I think the whole concept of zombies is that they're going to be fine.
But I mean,
Yeah.
their joints are going to wear out if they're just walking for 20 plus years. They don't
Yeah, but they're
heal
just
or
here.
anything. It's
They're just
friction.
there. They're just hanging out still. As long as their brain is intact, they're hanging out.
Mm.
But I'm just saying, I don't think there's a way to rebuild society to the point where it looks good like that in 10 years.
Yeah. But yeah, these teens are just
No, they're going to be all like dirt farming. Like,
yeah. Maybe they are. We don't know. All we see is high school.
If they're dirt farming, they wouldn't have time for high school. Like, all these kids would be illiterate.
Anyway, we're talking about half the trailer.
Yes.
So anyway, they eventually go out on their own for reasons.
They gotta find his dad.
I'm sure there's a really good reason to leave this safe town
And
to
they also gotta
hang
find
out
their
with
way.
these harmless zombies that don't move anymore.
Yeah, they encounter a lot of zombies that just aren't moving around, I guess.
Yeah. Because
And,
they're breaking down.
For some reason, one of these teens is wearing a complete suit. Like, not good survival gear.
Oh, we get to see
Called
a cool
style,
moss zombie.
Swanson.
A moss zombie. That's cool.
Yeah, there's some cool zombie shots in this, but it's mostly set to upbeat music, which is weird. It feels like the beginning of like it feels like the beginning of a teen movie. Like this is like I'm watching John Hughes' The Walking Dead. Like I'm expecting Matthew Broderick to come out and be like, "What? You expecting zombies?"
There's just this extreme dissonance between the footage we're watching and the music they're playing.
And also there's teens just wandering a wasteland. And like, I don't think any of these teens are going to get like brutally torn apart.
Yeah, I mean, Walking Dead itself has brutally torn apart some teens, but a show that's just nothing but teens?
Yeah,
I don't
and I think
know.
this is 4 teens. Do we want to talk about the last scene of the trailer?
Where she vomits on a zombie? That's
Yeah.
new.
And then she says, "That's what you get."
Yeah, she's
I
showing
mean,
the
there's-
zombie who's boss.
I don't think zombies are moral agents. I don't think they have wills of their own.
I don't think I don't think there's any like moral judgment you can make on a zombie whatsoever.
Yeah, they're just machines.
I also don't think the zombie cares that you puked on it.
Yeah, I don't think a zombie would understand.
Yeah, I think if you puke on a zombie, it's still going to want to eat you.
Yes.
It's not going to be offended.
Probably wants to eat you more.
Yeah, probably.
I'll probably eat the vomit.
It probably wouldn't care about the vomit.
They're nasty creatures. They're not my friend.
That's the thing always say about zombies. They're nasty boys.
Anyways, this next trailer is even dumber.
The next trailer we watch has more teens.
But less zombies.
Yeah. This one has a title, though. It's called Daybreak. Anyway, Daybreak is a show about the apocalypse, but also zombies.
But also being a teen.
Yeah,
And
it's
in
wild. It's
high
wild,
school.
man. This
What if
feels
you were
like
in high
if you-
school, but it was also Mad Max?
Yeah, this feels like if the Walking Dead one was Zombie High School, this one is Mad Max High School.
This is a comedy. It's really funny. During the whole trailer, I was laughing really hard.
Yeah, it's like if YouTube were a Netflix show.
It's like if my favorite YouTuber, who has 3 million subscribers and no moral code, had his own TV show.
Yeah, it's great. I was so excited.
Hold on, is that
I
guy?
was like, Logan Paul?
Yes,
That's not Logan. That's not Logan Paul.
Oh, if you said so, I would have believed you.
Swanson, why didn't you lie to him and tell him it was Logan Paul?
I couldn't do that to Stairmaster.
Why not? You do it for the pod. It's karma. Swanson, what would the Joker have done?
Joker would have told you it was Logan Paul, baby. Then he would have laughed at your dumb ass. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, Logan Paul's in the apocalypse, but it's just like, it's a fun time now that they've got like Mad Max trucks driving around. And
Yeah, all of the high schools, sort of social cliques have been put into like Mad Max-esque camps where there's like jocks and nerds and hot chicks. I guess is a social clique
And don't worry, there's no adults getting in the way because they're all zombies.
for reasons.
You'd think that, like, the zombies would eat some of the teenagers, but it seems like the population made it out intact.
Yeah, for some reason the teens have figured out how to kill off all these zombies on their own.
And also survive the nuclear war.
Yeah.
Yeah, now they're just lit. Yeah, it was a nuke that did this too.
In the trailer, the kid is literally dusted.
Basically, at ground zero.
Yeah. What? This boy's experiencing ground zero, and he's just like, "Yeah, this was totally cool. I've watched Chernobyl, friend."
You should have gotten like the 9/11 diseases just from being in that cloud of dust.
Yeah, and then all of the Chernobyl diseases.
I don't think this trailer would be as funny if we just watched him melt over the course of a minute and 90 seconds.
Yeah, but I would have felt more morally justified. Sorry, what was that, Keo?
Wasn't he close enough to be incinerated?
No,
yes.
No, maybe.
It seemed like he was pretty close to that nuke. Oh, maybe that's why.
Yeah, it looked like he was pretty close. If you're close enough for the dust cloud, you should be dead.
You'll probably be dead in a few.
He had no cover whatsoever.
Yeah, he would have probably been like killed by debris in that dust cloud.
Yeah,
instead it's just cool.
Yeah, it's
cool.
Just cool
I have
time.
6 types of emphysema now.
It's just cool apocalypse times with me, my black friend, and a girl.
A girl.
I mean, we're poking fun at this, and we're correct in doing so. But this could have actually been like a funny joke that they could have actually gone for in the show if they actually had a sense of humor.
What?
Yeah, if it wasn't just like Logan Paul-esque comedy.
Yeah, where a nuke goes off and the guy in the dust is just fine and it's cool now.
He's just like, apocalypse? Great.
Yeah, that would have been a funny joke.
Yeah. Instead we get him trying to cut someone's hand off, and instead he just sort of gets it stuck in the guy's hand. And then
he was going to cut out his middle finger off because he was flipping him the bird.
But it doesn't even hit the finger. He hits him in the wrist.
Yeah. And then the guy says it's stuck in the bone, and one of his friends says, bone. Because that's the... if you're putting in... ideally in a trailer, you're putting in your best stuff. And that's your best stuff?
Yeah, in this trailer where the jokes should be centered around the apocalypse, you spend I think more than 10 seconds of the trailer were dedicated to this skit with the katana in the hand.
Yeah, that's a lot, you know?
Like, they literally show this agonizing 3 or 4 seconds of the guy being like, "It's still in my hand!"
Yeah, this kid is chewing up as much scenery as possible on this one.
It's like, that's the comedy you're going to give us in the trailer?
Also,
really?
should all these kids be sad their parents are dead?
No, they're ghoulies.
Oh, the teens are ghoulies?
No, the parents. Why would you care about the parents? They're ghoulies.
I thought you were being metaphorical about the teens.
Yeah, if my parents became ghoulies, I'd just be like, this is the new teen life
time
now.
to skateboard.
This is totally cool. Oh, yeah, and it should be mentioned that this is all set to a cover of Melt With You.
Yeah.
Which is what this kid should be doing, being near that fucking blast radius.
He should have been blinded. Probably.
Yeah.
He looked right at the explosion, didn't he?
Yeah. I think so. I think he was covering his face as he got covered in dust. So maybe not. Anyway, yeah, it looks dumb, and I'm sure we're gonna watch it. So,
no,
you never know.
We're gonna watch it on the podcast, guaranteed. That's the TV Tuner's promise.
That's the TV Tuner's gold seal of watching.
And they
That's
called
right.
me Twisted.
Wow.
It's very fun to do.
I want to say for the record, I did not call him Twisted at any point in time.
I will say on the record that I have called him Twisted numerous times.
I would not use that word in reference to any individual.
I would say Stairmaster is damaged. Anyway,
I would say that Stairmaster is himself a society.
I would say that I'm ha-ha and horny.
Ooh.
Huh. Interesting.
All right, well, that's it for Trailer Blazers. So now let's get on to the main event. We watched the show.
Trailer Blazers.
Yep. We watched a show this week.
Yeah, we watched Stumptown.
Stump Boy.
And boy, were we stumped watching this.
Yeah, Stumptown, which is a nickname for Portland, Oregon, where the series is set, is based off of a comic book series by comic book creator Greg Rucka. He's done...
Good job, Greg.
Hey, Greg. Good work. Good work, bud. Hey, Greg, stick to fucking writing Wonder Woman, okay? Okay.
Fuck you.
Okay, Greg, fuck you, alright, kid? Alright, man? Alright, so how about you stick to fucking writing Gotham Central, huh?
The fuck is this detective shit? She's a vet, but she doesn't have, like, an arm stump or anything. Come on!
Somehow I'm picturing season 2 of Stumptown includes a clip of us saying this to him.
Oh, he is an executive producer. He might include it.
Oh yeah,
it's like playing on the radio in the background.
TV.
She's watching the podcast on the TV.
Yeah, where did they get that footage from?
It's just like a crudely drawn image of us.
Well, I'm hyper detailed for some reason.
Yeah,
like that from the Take On Me video. I look like that.
And the me and Keo are just like 2D stick figures.
Yeah.
And we both look angry.
Yeah. Anyway, this is a show that features Dex, played
Dexter?
by... No, her name is Dex, which is short for Dexedrine.
Dexter from the hit TV series Dexter.
Anyway, Dex is played by Kobe Smulders, a.k.a. Maria Hill from the Avengers movies. So this is second week in a row that we're watching an character from the MCU getting their own TV show.
Nick Coulter wasn't in any of the movies once.
Well, sure, but it's still the MCU.
Nuh-uh.
Also, he should have been in one of those movies.
Yeah,
At me.
He should have saved the day in Endgame.
Anyway.
Yeah, Marvel's Luke Cage should have punched Thanos in the face.
You also might remember her as Robin from How I Met Your Mother.
Nope.
Yeah, well, I mean, not you two. Anyway, she's, like Mike Coulter, she's probably the best part of this because everyone else is so nothing. They're so nothing. Thoughts. She's fine in this. Her character is very flimsy, but she gives it the old college try, as they say.
Yeah.
So we get a very, you might be wondering how I got here sort of opening, where these two guys are tasting some beverages. I guess it's coffee.
Yes. And they're identifying which region of Africa it came from.
Yeah.
By the taste.
And they guess.
Put a couple of charmers.
Oddly enough, they guess Zimbabwe. And we hear someone in the back. Turns out it's our hero, Stump Lady.
Hostage?
A hostage in my detective show? Anyway, she hits him with a fire extinguisher, or she sprays them with a fire extinguisher. They get into a fight. Sweet Caroline is playing, and that's just one of many music drops in this episode. Many music drops.
Yeah, they spent way too much on licensed music this week.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I get it. You know, you want to entice people in, but, man. And they go for, like, a weird sort of, like, Dukes of Hazzard-esque shot, sort of the car going off of a ramp as they play Stumptown under it. It feels very, like, 70s TV show. Like I'm watching an episode of Chips.
I wish I was watching Chips. Can we watch Chips next week?
Can we?
No.
Swanson.
Yes.
Swanson, can we eat chips during next week's recording?
Yes.
Only if you do it off mic.
What? What's the point?
Well, you'd still be getting the nutritional value of chips.
What's the nutritional value of chips, Swanson?
About 1%.
I think chips have a healthy dose of carbohydrates, which your body doesn't need.
But it has a healthy dose of them.
Yeah.
Anyway, we get these intense gambling shots. Because you see, Dex is a gambler. She likes to gamble and therefore owes money to the casino owned by this lady who I guess has history with her. Her name in the credits is Sue Lynn Blackbird. So
Ugh.
I like that she's slightly rude.
I would be slightly rude to this lady too. If
I
I owned a casino, I would definitely be slightly rude.
I would be very rude.
But not too rude.
Can you think about someone who owns a casino in a movie or show who isn't slightly rude?
Nope. There's a fine line of rudeness for where you're rude, but you're not that rude.
Yeah. Robert De Niro in Casino, very rude. Anyway, yeah, so this is great. I love when people just sort of explain backstory to one another, stuff that they already should know. So this lady,
Hey Swanson, remember 3 years ago when we met on that podcasting tour?
I don't want to talk about that here.
And remember when you found me sleeping in the garbage and decided I was exactly what your podcast would need?
Look, I don't want to talk about those memories.
Swanson, you can't keep running away from your heroin addiction.
I'll know when I'm good and ready to stop.
Swanson,
Anyway.
you sold our kids for heroin.
That's right.
Yeah. 5 years ago, our sweet, lovable children, you sold them.
Yes, that we all adopted collectively as a podcasting trio.
Yes, as a polyamorous
Only
podcasting
recognized
trio.
in the state of California.
Yes, we're a polyamorous podcasting trio who adopted some children in need. And then I sold them for heroin. What's the big deal?
Swanson, I know you have PTSD from your circus life 10 years ago, but drugs is not the way to solve it.
I can't stop thinking about it. I was meant to go to the big leagues.
You mean Circus du Soleil?
Yes, Circus du Soleil.
Or like Circus Don't Soleil, if you ask me.
Yeah, that's my problem. Anyway, yeah, we get a lot of that this episode, is all of that.
Yeah, the dialogue is only slightly better than what we just did there.
Also, they picked this like perfect 10 out of 10 Hollywood actress to play a damaged veteran.
I mean, yeah, it's TV. I don't know what you're expecting out of that one.
They could have picked someone with like a stump.
I don't know why you're so fixated on the stump thing.
It's in the name!
It's the name of Portland!
Nobody calls Portland Stumptown. That's just
People who live in Portland call it that!
Fuck them.
If
Fuck
you
you.
If you live in Portland,
There's a bunch of hipsters and Nazis.
If you live in Portland, let us know other nicknames for it at TV Tuners.
Now, I have word on the street in Portland, Oregon, that some people there in the underground refer to it affectionately as Humptown.
Ooh, that's what I would call it for sure.
No, that's only a certain part of Portland, and only after about 6 p.m.
Yeah, prime humping hours. Anyway, it's odd that you would hear the name Stumptown and immediately think, oh yeah, this is about someone who's missing an arm.
I mean, when you described it, you did mention it was about a vet.
So I want your idea of why it was called Stumptown then.
Well, maybe she's missing an arm or a leg, and she solves crimes despite it.
Okay, but is it her town?
Yeah, why is it called Stumptown?
Okay, that is a fair point. Maybe she's the mayor, and she solves mysteries.
She solves crimes?
Better show.
Yeah, honestly, actually. So yeah, they we get introduced to her brother who has Down syndrome. And that's the only time I'm going to talk about that, probably.
Oh yeah, this character only exists to signify she has a hard life.
Yeah. This is like a thing that they do occasionally. Well, they'll trot out an actor with Down syndrome to play a character with Down syndrome, and then only use it to showcase another character's life, and then never give them any more character.
Yeah, you gotta make the main character more sympathetic.
Yeah,
that way. That's a perfect tool.
I mean, if she didn't have that mentally disabled brother, how would we know her life was bad?
True. Yeah.
I mean, she owns a car and a house, in the Pacific Northwest. She's doing pretty good, by all means.
That house was probably her parents, I'm imagining.
Still.
And that car is
in
not
this economy?
I mean, the only other way to make me sympathize with the character is to give them PTSD flashbacks.
Oh, don't worry, we get that, Kieran.
Ooh.
Yeah, we get plenty of PTSD flashbacks. Actually, I think the 2 or 3 times we get PTSD flashbacks from her, it's the same one.
It's the same shot over.
Yeah,
and over.
of her just like running from a truck as it like explodes or something, or
and then her
vice versa.
flashing back while she's running from a truck as it explodes.
Yeah, it's like they only had time to film in this one set. Like they were like, "All right, we're tearing down the Band of Brothers set. Get over here and film."
What? This was shot in like 2004.
I know. Yeah, they've been sitting on it.
Sitting on a gold mine, if you ask me.
I should have said
Listen,
I probably should have said like Dunkirk or something.
I know we made a mistake shooting this in actual Afghanistan, and we can only afford to film for 30 seconds. We just gotta make this work, gang. Come on, put on your game faces. Let's go.
So
hey, they knocked it out the park.
Yeah, they really did.
They only killed like 3 extras with the incendiary.
Yeah. So we also get introduced to her friend, who is I guess supposed to be like the moral conscience of this show. He's just a dude who owns a bar, and that's really all the trait we get from him.
He's not rude at all.
Yeah.
I think being a small business owner, he'd be like the worst human being.
But no, he's just a guy who wants to make money. Interesting. Anyway,
I just want to get paid.
We get some quick fire dialogue between the two of them to show that they're ship worthy for fans. And that's about the only fun times we get. Other than later in the show when he just randomly says, "You're the broken one!" to his best friend. Anyway, there's a lot going on in this episode, and a lot of it is just a question of like why. So she gets hired to do this job where the casino owner's granddaughter has been kidnapped. She goes and tracks her down, finds out that it was a boyfriend, that they're going to go elope. Then after she gets her, she gets kidnapped again.
For real this time.
Yeah. And
except the twist
what a
is
twist.
The first time was also real. As we learn later in the episode.
The cops get involved.
What a twist.
Because I guess that's how that works.
But also they're very passive aggressive about it.
Yeah,
don't
the
seem
cops
to be taking appropriate measures.
Yeah, the cops seem really pissed off that this lady was just doing her own thing, I guess.
And they just give her a stern warning and let her go.
To be fair, cops do get really passive-aggressive with private investigators, I imagine, so... Especially ones who aren't licensed, like this lady.
Well, actually, in the state of Oregon, you don't require a license.
Well, yeah, that's why she didn't get arrested. It's not like terriers.
Yeah.
R.I.P.D. to a great show.
Rest in peace, my brothers at terriers.com.
If it had been Terriers guy, he wouldn't have lost that fight. Well, he probably would have lost that fight anyways.
Which Terriers guy?
Either.
The big one.
There is a big one, so
the handsome one.
Oh, the handsome one definitely wouldn't have lost the fight. Anyway, yeah, so she meets a police detective who I guess is going to be her actual love interest in this show, because they do get down to Bone Town later. But right now when she meets him, they're just sort of weirdly passive aggressive to one another, which, as we all know,
slightly rude.
Yeah, as we all know, that leads to sex later. So,
yeah, this has actually been written down in countless psychological studies,
such as Joker, the novelization.
Oh yeah, who did that novelization?
Joker's Trick.
Yes.
So yeah,
got into one.
If this sounds like it's all sort of quick paced, or if it sounds like this is all a lot to include in one episode, this is only about 15 minutes in that we've gone through all of this already. Yeah?
It felt like 30 minutes to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's whatever. We also get introduced to a guy who owns a taco truck, who apparently is part of the main cast, even though he's in just this one scene. He is listed as...
Not introduce him for us. He's going to be doing really important stuff later.
Yeah, his name is Tukey, and he is listed as part of the main cast.
He's my friend.
All he really does here is rant about tacos, where he says, it used to be back in the day, you would just make a taco. Now there's social media, and you gotta advertise.
What people keep Instagramming my tacos and calling me racist because my name is Tukey.
I mean, he is Mexican, so.
Oh.
Anyway, yeah, so we get a second act twist where after she has been trying to find the daughter is turned over. Turns out she's back home. You don't need to worry about it anymore.
The end. See you next week, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just goes to bed and the show's over.
Yeah.
It's like a black screen for another 40 minutes.
It's really strange. No, it's a ploy for some reason. It turns out that it turns out Native Americans are distrusting of cops, and the
why would that be?
I don't know. It's really strange. It's almost like they have some sort of history.
Yeah, I'm gonna research that later.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fun.
It must have had something to do when the Native Americans came to America so long ago.
Yeah, when they came on that boat.
Yeah, to immigrate to the United States.
Yeah. I imagine that, okay, so I don't know what the scenario actually was because they didn't really explain it. She is telling the police that her daughter has been found.
Oh, yeah, but the police don't actually just believe her.
They don't check up on it. They're just like, all right, I guess, yeah, sure.
Sounds good to me. Let's go eat, huh?
So they call it off, and she's like, all right, well, I guess there's nothing else to do. She gets fired from the position because she tries
did a terrible job.
Yeah, she steals someone's car.
Oh yeah, that too. Very tangentially related to this investigation.
Yeah, and you know what? That guy who was the car dealer or whatever, fun guy, fun actor. He really brought some energy to that scene.
He brought an energy, I guess.
He really hammed it up. That's what you need here.
Like a stale ham.
He really did something.
You know what he should have done? He should have started yelling like he was powering up.
Like when she started driving away, he should have just gone.
No. When she makes a joke about wearing your second best bra, he powers up because he's horny.
Why would you be horny for the second best bra?
Oh, that's still pretty good.
Yeah, that's up there.
I mean,
I guess, yeah.
That really get him going.
Was this actress?
Kobe Smulders?
Yes, I was going to say Smoldy Colbers for a second, but I got myself...
That sounded like a more normal name to you?
I'm sorry, Swanson.
Smoldy?
I couldn't find... Well, it was either or.
Yeah, good old moldy Colbers.
Yeah, good old moldy cucumbers. My favorite actress. Anyway, so yeah, she hooks up with Police Boy, and the score for this sex scene is ridiculous. It's over. Do you guys catch this? It's just me who noticed this.
It's just you, Swanson. You're gonna have to explain it to us.
The saxophone was out of control in this scene.
Well, I did find it odd the usage of Careless Whisper.
It pretty much was. The scene starts and it's just like. It's like I was playing.
Swanson, they had a lot of build-up and tension for this sex scene. This was like a big payoff for the series.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Fellas, how do we
feel? I've been waiting like 30 minutes for them to do this.
Fellas, how do we feel about that trope of the scene where a character opens a door and the other character doesn't say anything to them and just grabs them by the neck and smooches?
Yeah, I don't think you should do that anymore. Really, you should have never done it. But
I whether it was tried or cliche, but yeah.
I mean, ideally you would have a conversation before you just started smooching someone. Especially someone who you'd only met 24 hours before.
Yeah.
No, they both felt the tension. They both felt it, and they both knew it. They were both on board.
I think it's kind of a gamble. Someone staring at you like that after you open the door, they're either going to fuck you or kill you.
Yeah.
Well, might as well kiss him.
Either way, you're going to be having a good time.
No!
All right, so...
Sounds like Swanson's the Joker now.
Anyway, yeah, so then the cop guy decides that after sex is the best time to bring up that he knows her backstory. Seems odd. Seems like an odd timing.
Well, I mean, if
he sits up and he's like...
then the sex wouldn't happen.
He's like, so, about your backstory.
He's like,
So,
look,
I heard
I
you
did
were in
some
Vietnam.
I did some digging because the script told me to.
I Googled your name.
And
Turns out you were a Vietnam vet, and you were in charge of spraying the Agent Orange.
It turns out you coined the phrase, what a wonderful nothing better in the morning than the smell of napalm.
You wore what as a necklace?
Disgusting. Should have never had sex with you. Goodbye.
You let me inside you!
It turns out that her backstory, such as it is that she was in Afghanistan with the casino lady's son, and they were, I guess, in love? This seems convoluted. And then he dies on his way to propose to her. In Afghanistan, I guess?
Yeah, he's walking towards her with the ring, and then the IED goes off and blows him up, and the severed hand holding the ring lands in her palm.
Okay, so that's not what actually
screams.
happened, but yeah, it would have...
Better show.
Yeah, and the guy recaps this all to her.
Which is absurd. It's like if I had discovered that Kyorain's traumatic past is that, like, he was involved in a car accident where radioactive waste got spilled on him.
And now he's blind?
Yeah, and now he's blind, and I sat him down to be like, listen, I know you're blind. I know that when you were young, your father was a boxer and he got killed by the mob.
I know that you met the Mutant Ninja Turtles.
And I'm just expecting him to like be like, yeah, like what?
That's correct.
Yeah, like what are you getting out of this? All you have to
I
do
already
is
had sex with you.
All you have to do is just be like, yeah, look,
Damn,
I know
that
what
was
happened.
A good purse last night.
All you have to do is be like, look, yeah, I know what happened between you and this other guy.
And the Taliban.
Sorry about that. You don't have to just explain the backstory back to her. She knows. She was there.
And not the sex kind.
Maybe she forgot, you know, when something bad happens,
when she was in that
amnesia.
POW camp, she developed amnesia as part of the brainwashing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was actually giving her a revelation, which he took very well.
It's time for you to activate Dex.
You know, this happens all the time, and I hate it. You know, I hate backstory splaining.
Why does the man gotta give out the backstory?
Yeah. Why doesn't she give out the backstory on him? Your father was a perfectly normal person, and so was your mother. You had a good family life. Now you became a cop.
You've been involved in 6 shootings. The average for this region.
Yeah, that tracks. I mean, he's already involved in almost 1 shooting in this episode, so...
Well, it's unrealistic because he tells the cops not to shoot.
True. That's how you know he's not going to make it. So yeah, some other stuff goes down, and we cut back to her. I don't know how she figures this out. I really don't remember this part. She figures it out somehow, is the main point here. And we cut back around to where we were at the beginning.
No, she doesn't figure it out. She gets kidnapped while she's...
Oh, that's right. She doesn't figure it out at all. The thing just happens to her. She's not actually a good private eye.
Yeah. For some reason, they decide they need to kidnap her because she knows too much.
I guess they were like, she's on to us.
She was investigating too hard, so they had to get her.
Kidnapping.
Like, the money was already going to be theirs. Why did they just... Anyway, so they kidnap her, and this is when we come back around to where we're at the beginning. Yeah. This is a prime example of why sometimes you just don't have to do nonlinear storytelling.
You
what did we get out of this?
Yeah.
You could have just told it from where it got interesting, and that's all you needed.
You could have just opened your show with her in the casino, and it would have been fine. And
or you could have opened her within the car, and then you just go into a completely different mystery.
I mean, sure, ideally.
Because this one sucked ass.
Yeah, ideally you would do that. But, like, if you're going with this one still, sure. Why not just start at the beginning instead of giving us a 3 days before? There's no reason for it other than that they needed to add a little bit extra runtime by replaying the same scene. Because this is what this is that there's a slightly different perspective, and then it's the same scene again.
They should have done a Rashomon thing where the details were completely different.
More interesting. Yeah, we see it.
They should have. They should have had something completely different happen and everyone dies and that's the end of the show.
the car just like hits a pole as it's going up the ramp.
Oh no!
And everyone dies.
Yeah.
You know what? Detective show with that brother. Better show.
Oh no! That's something they would have done in the 70s.
I mean, at least it's a kid. At least the actor is like capable and is like would be doing more than just standing here to be sitting there to make us feel better about her.
Okay, so flashback to when she's being kidnapped. What if the brother had, like, you just see her being stuffed in the car and then the soccer ball comes in from out of frame and just pulps the guy's head. And you see the brother and he gives a thumbs up. Or he gives a fist pump.
Yeah, there we go. That's good stuff.
Okay, but imagine this: they all die in a horrible car crash, and then it shows a scene where the guy she had sex with is explaining to the casino lady what happened,
and then they have sex.
No, they had sex.
Oh,
yeah. So cue the score.
No, it's an extreme close up on his face, and it just slowly pans back, and you realize he's shirtless in bed.
It's a close up on his face as he licks his lips intensely.
What? While explaining what happened?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Anyway, this is whatever. So she subdues them, takes the police to the area where
by fleeing from them and not getting killed.
Yeah, I mean they're just pursuing her, I guess. And then, she saves the day, ?
Oh, yeah, the boyfriend is at the factory pointing a gun at the daughter.
Yeah, because, sure, why not?
Yeah, that happens.
I'm not sure what his end game is
event.
here, what he gets out of actually murdering her. Or even showing up in the first place.
Yeah. I feel like the big mistake with this episode, other than being bad, is that they didn't have to focus so much on backstory on this first one. A little bit of mystery goes a long way in a pilot episode. Like, we didn't...
No, you need to explain her whole backstory to the point where you have a character telling her backstory to her.
Imagine if
we need a scene where they explain the Afghan war and why it happened and all the factions involved.
They need to break down the entire Senate vote on...
If they were talking about the Afghanistan war, Stairmaster, this would be a 2-part episode.
There needs to be a flashback where Bernie's arguing against it.
But no, I feel like you don't need to do a whole bunch of backstory on this one. You know what? How about give her a case that isn't tied to her backstory at all? Save this backstory stuff for a later episode.
Episode 3 at a minimum.
At a minimum, like if this were episode 13 and the story was and the mystery was not this bad, probably a better episode after we've known the characters.
What is up with these shows that have the very first mystery case involve the character's backstory?
They gotta establish a myth arc in the first episode, otherwise people won't stick with it, Keo.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it'd be like if you watched
That's it.
like the first episode of the X-Files doesn't explain that Mulder's sister's been kidnapped by aliens. They don't get to that until like 3 seasons in. Because if you watched it in the first episode and Scully's just like, oh yeah, wasn't your sister kidnapped by aliens, Mulder? You'd be like, what?
Hold on, has his sister been kidnapped for all those 3 seasons?
No, I think it was actually season 2.
I know your sister got kidnapped by aliens, Mulder. But you have to stay focused on this case, Mulder.
Just because your sister got kidnapped by aliens doesn't mean that this murder was committed by a vampire, Mulder.
Scully, the reason I believe in werewolves is because my sister was kidnapped by aliens. I think it might have been season 2. I haven't rewatched X-Files in a while. Anyway, the point being, we don't need to get the backstory right away. You know, we don't watch Breaking Bad in the first episode and we find out that Walter White had a falling out with, like, business partners. They save it for a little bit.
Yes.
Jesse, we're going to sell meth, and this is because I have a complex due to the betrayal of my business partners
And my mom
years
was
back.
kidnapped by aliens.
Jesse, you need to understand. Everything I do is about ego. It's
My
all
mom-
about pride to me, Jesse.
My mom was an alien, that's why she never shows up on screen.
So, yeah, I feel like that's
Jesse.
the big mistake this show makes here.
Jesse, I was your teacher, but I look down on you because I'm a very prideful person, Jesse.
Yeah, anyway, I think that's pretty much it for the show. She shares a beer with her friend, and that's it. The end. I guess they hint that she's going to do more of these, even though she has no reason to.
Also because she nearly got killed twice.
In
And I don't
just
think
one
she even
case.
got paid.
No, because she got kicked off the case. I think she got paid, like she got a severance pay from the case.
In
And
fact,
that was
if
it.
he hadn't done anything, things would have been fine.
Yeah, these people would have just lost a bunch of money, which is fine. They're casino owners.
Yeah, I'm glad she accomplished a lot this episode, and I can't wait to keep watching this, because this is a official TV Tuners Tune In.
Ooh.
Is this...
Is that your take on this, Kyoren?
What's wrong?
Do you want
No.
to take another spin?
Yeah, what?
Yeah, and I can't wait to never watch this again, because this is an official TV Tuners Tune Out.
Yeah, what are any final thoughts on this one, Kyo?
No.
My only thought remaining is that I don't understand the point of what I just watched.
Yeah, I think I get what they're going for here a little bit. This is a show that is trying to harken back to like those old sort of 70s and 80s PI shows, you know, like Mannix or Rockford Files or Magnum PI. And it kind of gets that vibe, but it's just not good.
They tried way too hard to make us care about the protagonist.
And there's no car chase. There's
yeah.
no real car chase.
Instead of just making her likable.
The reason those shows work, Stairmaster hit it. There's always a cool car chase.
Yes.
In those shows. Rockford Files had nothing but car chases, and it was always dope. And it had a well-written protagonist. And I don't think this character is well-written.
Okay, name her character traits, Swanson.
PTSD.
Uh-huh.
Gambler.
Disabled family member.
Headstrong? I guess that's a trait you could give her. I don't know. The thing is, it's a pale imitation.
Slightly rude.
The thing is, it's a pale imitation of those shows, and so it doesn't ring true. I feel like I could just watch a Magnum PI episode instead.
But not the new one.
Well, I don't know. I haven't watched the new one. Maybe it's good.
No.
Probably not. But it could be. Anyway, this is this is a tune out.
Get out of here.
Yeah, that's a tune out for Stumptown. Forgot to mention it at the top of our covering of this. This is our first ABC show.
Wow!
Until now, ABC had been the only major network, streaming or otherwise, to not get mentioned on the show, not get a show featured. So here you go. Hope you're happy, ABC.
Wow! Imagine if we had done an episode on Designated Survivor.
Mr. ABC is going to listen to this and he's going to be very cross with us.
Yeah, what does ABC stand for in terms of name?
American Broadcasting Company.
That's his name?
Yes.
I am American Broadcasting Company. I am American B Company.
It was his grandfather.
Good guy. Abracadabra.
No.
That should be the name of the network. Anyway, yeah, that's it for this week's episode of the show. I don't know how we end this now. I didn't think about this part.
Yeah, what the fuck were you thinking, Swanson? What are we gonna do now?
Just end it, duh.
We're just gonna go like this.
Alright, so that's it for this week's episode of the show. We'll be back next week with more TV goodness. Until then, keep watching. Bye. It's over.
Wow, he's really going at it, really laughing.